Nowadays, audiences are cringe. The anime audiences, the K-pop audiences, the particular show audiences cringe out by making gay ships about their characters, about their story, and I think it's a very disgusting thing that can happen among anime. I think it is My Hero Academia show anime where they have the worst type of fan bases I have ever seen on internet, and I was very terrified because the characters in the show are not only 15 or 16 years old, they are being gay shaped by their among their friends, and I think trend is not a very good thing where you tend to ship your show characters by the audiences. It's a very disgusting, especially if they are showing or doing this with two children. It doesn't matter how powerful these characters are, but they are basically children. You should not ship two people that also in a gay relationship. And also the behavior of this many of these anime shows communities and fans are very weird. There are so many shows that the audiences behave in a certain idiotic way, but I would say among the anime shows, it is mostly the My Hero Academia fans who does this the most. They makes the most cringes reels or TikToks. And honestly, it was weird and it kind of hampered the feel that I got while enjoying the show. I don't know why audiences are like this, and also the K-pop audiences. I'm not saying the movies or the or series actors or actresses. I'm just talking about K-pop music industry and many other influencers also. And recently, you will also see the getting trolled for doing most absolute and weird things. I could have still understand when people gay ship the characters that are in anime. At least those characters are not real, even if they are underage. Understandable, but shipping your own favorite artist who are real, kind of like are maybe friends in real life, admires each other, you are gay shipping them. I think it's disgusting. It's foolishness, not even disgusting, it's foolishness that people do this with real people where they ship two people who may admire each other, admire, they have faith in each other, but they're not against each other and perform in a show. You have to help each other in this type of group. And also it's just so weird that typically I've seen among these K-pop artists, the audiences they have are just too ruthless, which kind of ultimately made this type of groups much more private. They cannot date, they cannot go out whenever they want, they cannot eat if they want, just because they have to look in a certain way, just because they have to live in a certain way told by their not only companies, but it kind of happened because of the audiences only. You are an artist. If you don't have the will to live by yourself, think for yourself, then you are not an artist. You are just a product of consumerism. Artist should be someone who doesn't think of making money, but just think of making the greatest art that the world has ever seen. It can be a piece of music, a dance performance, some drawing, anything. But audiences of this particular K-pop group typically, and I am not saying just Korean people. People always think that only the Korean people does it. No, it's not. The Western people equally does it. Okay, the Western people equally does it, even for their own artists, and to a huge number, even for their K-pop idols also. And I think it will be bad to just badmouth Koreans for being so much toxic. The Western audience is equally the same to a huge extent. They just don't get trolled because people think that, oh no, how can they troll? They do same thing as any Korean audience do for their idols. The Western people, the Western audience just get away with this more easy, but they are a same type of audience that you can find anywhere. You cannot criticize Taylor Swift. You cannot criticize some particular artist and their fan base will be mad at you just because you criticize them. Same way, these gay shipping artists are very low life thinking of your absurd say sexual fantasies. People who does this needs therapy because they are projecting out their vile emotions against people who they have never met, who have just seen. You admire someone, then you should admire them fully, not have any negative thoughts about them. It's not like I'm saying that I am a very decent person, I don't maybe do weird stuff, but I'm just saying I'm not some kind of saint, of course, to say this stuff. I myself like so many artists that I have crush on, and of course I have also had wild thoughts, but I kind of become a better. I'm not saying I've fully become better, but and you should not do it. You should not gay shape. Also, the audience should stop their artists from this fake cute act where they act cutely or act like a baby, even though they are some kind of 30 or 40-year-old artist. Even if they're 20, I mean, why should they fake act being cute? I think it's not a very really cute thing for an adult to act like a cute child. Sometimes I feel like this type of acts are done by artists, maybe to fulfill the wishes of their maybe pedophilic masters who control them. Who knows? I'm just making up theories. But after a point of time, you should understand that an artist should not do it, and the audiences has the responsibility to make sure that their idols don't do any type of cringe things that may harm their personality. You really want your favorite artist to have no personality? It is the audience's responsibility to make their artist life better. I consume a lot of Korean entertainment content, and I kind of have this idea how this K-pop idol group are being controlled by some production company, by some corporate office. The way they control their lives, control the lives of the artists are just so miserable. It's a miserable act. I mean, how can you control an artist by saying that they will take care of everything around them? That's not how artist works. Artists are meant to do whatever they want. That's what makes them artists. You cannot just live in a 4 by 4 room and someone is pressuring you. Yeah, you write the lyrics like this. You write make the music like this. That's not how music is done. That's not how dance form, any type of art form is made. Art is about freedom. Art is about going in depths of your brain, of your thinking, and create the most unique and beautiful thing that may come into your mind while you are thinking. You just need to think. An artist should not be forced to eat a particular food every day or do whatever the hell someone else do it. That's not artist. That's not being an artist. That's slavery, and slaves can never be a pure artist. Only an intelligent and only a intellectual person who understand the importance of freedom can become great artist. Imagine if Michelangelo or maybe Leonardo da Vinci was forced by someone, hey, make this. Your audiences need this. You have to do this much for your audiences. They can never make a great pieces of art. They could have never done that. It's because of the audiences that how this companies treat their artists, and it's such a sad state of affairs that the more days are going, the more corporates are buying this artist life, controlling everything about their life, and this is not a right thing. Audiences need to call out their own problems and companies problems, so that if they actually love their artists, they will give them the freedom, a freedom to choose which partner they want, freedom to eat whatever food they want, freedom to do whatever they want in their free time. Everything these artists do are just so manufactured, so performative, so fake that it's horrible. These are much more in Asian people, in even in India. Yeah, I would say it's much more mixed, as not as in great depth like Korean or the Japanese music groups or K or pop group. Of course, in India there is this a sudden rise of corporate sectors among this artistic line where they are just forcing themselves too much, which is degrading the work, degrading the art form of filmmaking music in such a way. When art is being controlled, that's not art, that's slavery.